بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. It is narrated by many of the muhaddithin, the ulama of hadith, that one day Hazrat Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu met Abdullah ibn Salam radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And Salman Farsi, of course, was from Persia. And Abdullah ibn Salam, he was a Jew from Medina who embraced Islam. And he became a Sahabi. So the two of them met. And Salman Farsi told Abdullah ibn Salam that let us make some agreement. If you die before me, then you must come and tell me what has happened in the Akhirat. And if I die before you, I will come and tell you. So Abdullah ibn Salam was surprised at this. And he actually asked Salman that, can this happen? Can I come and tell you after I'm dead what has happened? Then Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu, he confirmed this can happen. So it so happened that Salman Farsi died first. He passed away. And then he came in the dream of Abdullah ibn Salam. He came in a dream and he spoke to him. And then he explained him that Allah Ta'ala has granted me this in Jannat and that, all the ni'mats. So remember we said that the souls, the arwah of the pious Muslims, they are in Jannat. But it's not the Jannat that we will get after Qiyamah, but it is that Jannat which comes in the Alam-e Barzakh. So they enjoy all those ni'mats and those favors. Then Salman Farsi said something unique. He says that I saw an amazing reward for the amal of tawakkul. For the amal of tawakkul. I saw something absolutely amazing. So from this we also learn that the amal that we do in this world, we don't know really, and we cannot even imagine the rewards that Allah will grant us. And then we also see from this that tawakkul, what is tawakkul? We've been speaking about this for many, many months. It means to put your trust in Allah, to believe that the doer of everything is Allah and only Allah. It shows that this quality is rewarded in a very, very high way by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we also learn another thing, something that the awliya Allah have always mentioned, that when a person passes away, the ruh, it is possible for the ruh to come in someone's dream. And how does this happen? Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran Kareem, Allahu yatawaffal anfusa hina mawtiha. That Allah takes the souls of people at the time of death, when it is someone's time to die, then Allah takes the ruh. Wallati lam tamut, and those people that don't die, fi manami, Allah takes the souls when they are asleep. This means that if a person goes to bed at night, and this comes in the hadith, then the ruh of that person, it comes out when you fall asleep, the ruh leaves the body. But there is still some attachment to the body, and the ruh goes up to Allah and asks Allah permission to go back into that body. If Allah says no permission, the person dies in his sleep. That is how people die in their sleep. If Allah says yes, it goes back into the body. Now when this ruh goes up, then they say two things happen. Sometimes shaitan interferes with this ruh when it's on its way up and down. And that is when people have bad dreams, nightmares and so forth. And sometimes that ruh meets the ruh of some people that have passed away, and then they have a discussion and they speak. That is how you see dead people in your dream. It is the souls of these people that come into one's dream. And then of course the most important thing here is the ruh is a spiritual thing. In this world we've got the body and we've got the ruh in this body. The two are connected. The moment the ruh leaves the body is dead. What do we do in this world to keep the body alive? We eat food, we drink. So this keeps the body alive. What keeps the ruh alive is our a'mal, or in a nutshell, ta'at of Allah, obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But just like the food of the body, it doesn't remain long. Food in this world, you keep it anywhere. Even if you put it in a fridge, after some months, it's going to go off, it will decay. So likewise, the body also decays when a person dies. But the food of the ruh, what is that food? It is the ta'at of Allah that remains forever. So even afterwards, after the body has passed on and the body is even no longer there, the ruh still remains. And of course, that's why they say the ruh is an eternal being. It was created by Allah. It's not something that existed from eternity, but it was created. After being created, it will remain forever. Qiyamah day, when people will be resurrected, then that ruh goes back into that body, and that is how Allah Ta'ala will resurrect people and then take an account from people. So we realize from this, the most important thing is to give the strength to this ruh through our a'mal. And it is a'mal that will come to our assistance. Then I also need to explain what happens. We're discussing now what happens to the ruh. But what happens to the physical body? So there are many, many cases, things that are mentioned in hadith, and also personal experiences of people, that the body doesn't even disintegrate. Generally, the body, it decomposes, it becomes rotten, it disintegrates, it turns into sand. There's nothing left of that body. But there are many cases of people with iman, pious people, when the graves were dug up, then they found the bodies were intact. They say about Haji Imdadullah rahmatullah alayhi, he's buried in Makkah in Jannatul Mu'alla, the famous Qabristan in Makkah. So there, because of the space, what they used to do, they used to dig up old graves. They used to open up old graves to bury people in that grave. About 16 times in history, since he passed away in Makkah, they opened his grave and they found that his body was still intact. So they had to close it. Eventually, one of the governors of Makkah said, look, this man, we realize he's a special friend of Allah. Don't ever open his grave again, because you're wasting your time. This is how his body will remain till the day of Qiyamah. So this is a special gift from Allah. We know that the arwah of people, or the arwah of the martyrs, the shuhada, it comes in the hadith sharif, these souls, these ruh, these arwah they do not disintegrate. They remain, the bodies remain as they are, and that will be till Qiyamah. Some of them, when the bodies were dug up, they actually saw blood flowing. Can you imagine a body that was dead for 10, 15 years, and the blood flows again from that wound that it suffered on the battlefield? This is the karamat and the fazl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah.